way, smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side, smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side, smack it in the.
Hi guys, it's Grace, and today I thought I would do a palette collection video. Even though this video might seem so random, basically I was looking through all my tweets because follow me on Twitter, seeing what videos you guys wanted me to film today, and the most requested video was a makeup collection. Although this is not a makeup collection because our actual makeup collection is going to come very soon. That's actually going to be on the Grace and Grace channel. I thought I would do a palette collection because I have quite a few palettes. I love palettes. I don't know, I really do love them, and I'm quite proud of my palette collection. So I thought I would go through my palettes, show them to you guys, and yeah, I've also got a really bad cold. I'm really sad because I bought these really cool glasses and I wanted to wear them in the video and I can't because you can see the ring lights. So, no glasses today. I do get sent some palettes because I'm a YouTuber. Most of these palettes I bought for myself, or they were sent to me, or were given to me as presents, or I've just had over the years and were given like from my sister or my mum. I do have quite a few palettes that I don't use anymore, and I just have them because I hate throwing makeup away. I have like a range of prices on palettes here, so I thought I'd go through them. Okay, we're going to start with smaller palettes. I have the NYX Beauty School Dropout palette. As you can just see here, it's still got its like little sellotape thing on, and that's just because I haven't got around to use this yet. I got this at Beautycon. So it just comes with a load of like an array of different colours. It doesn't have like, it does have like a kind of colour palette here, like around here it's all kind of in the more neutral pinks, and then it just comes baboom with these two darks here. It's just a cute little palette to have. Like, it's definitely not my favourite palette in the world, but I think it's just a cute little one to carry around with you because it's got like a load of colours in it. Okay, the next palette I have was actually one of my first ever palettes, and it is the Revolution. This was actually my second eyeshadow palette ever. I'll show you guys my first, I still have it. The colour payoff on this palette, I do have some other Makeup Revolution ones, but the colour payoff on this palette honestly is not the best, but I just got really excited when I saw this. Again, you guys know I don't really use shimmers, and this is kind of like an all shimmer palette. When I first got into eyeshadow, I really did like this. Now I don't really go back to it, but I think it's just quite cute to have. Next palette I have is the Red Carpet Ready palette by Barry M. It comes with a primer and the eyeshadows. This is the primer gel, and then all of these are the eyeshadows, and it comes with these three really nice glittery eyeshadows. So like you have all the kind of glitters, two mattes here, and then you also have that glittery black, and it did come with like one of those bad brushes, but I didn't really want that. So I'm just going to get my other Barry M palettes out of the way. I have their Flawless Chisel Cheeks Contour Kit. This is their powdered one, and you guys can see here I absolutely loved this contour kit. I think if you were starting out in makeup or you just don't want to spend a lot of money, this contour kit is so good. It comes with a very light powder, which is really good for like highlighting your face. Then it comes with a medium powder and then a darker powder, which I didn't touch at all because it was way too dark for my skin. And the last Barry M palette I have is their Flawless Chisel Cheeks Contour Cream Kit. I'm not a huge fan of cream contour. I'll only do it if I'm like in the mood to do it. But if I do it, I use these two colours here, or I mix these two here. So you've got lighter shades for highlighting, and then you've got three darker shades here for contour. So with Barry M, they really do give you like an array of colours. So it just depends on what skin tone you are, you can like get a good contour. I'm just going to do these in a random order, but the next palette I have was this one here. I'm going to do all my smaller palettes first, but I just kind of wanted to get all the Barry M ones away. But now I'm going to do all the smaller palettes. And so this one here I got for Christmas. I do talk about this a little bit in what we got for Christmas. Basically, this is such a gorgeous palette. So what you have to do is you have to buy the palette separately, and then you buy these sparkly shades individually so that you can like put them in. They are quite hard to get, but they are seriously stunning. They are just so gorgeous, these shades. I do have the MAC pigments that come in like those little bottles, part of the Nutcracker collection, and they are very similar to these ones. My next smaller palette is a MAC palette. This is my eyeshadow palette here. It is the Burgundy x9 palette. I love burgundies, so I actually got this for my birthday from my friend. So yeah, this is the MAC palette I have. And there's an array of mattes, there is an array of shimmers. I would honestly recommend this palette so much. And that is what the palette looks like. It is such a gorgeous palette. The next smaller palette I have is the Naked Flushed palette. This is the Naked Flush Streak palette. It comes with the bronzer, highlighter and the blush. Now, I am not too keen on this palette and I do have my reasons. As you guys can see here, like, they aren't separated at all, they're all in one pan. And the problem I have with that is, like, when I want to use, for instance, the bronzer, it will come out very pink, and that's because it's mixed with the blusher. And that is the problem I have with it. Like, everything's just mixed together. Even though it doesn't look like it, when you use the bronzer, it comes out very pink toned. And I don't know if it is because they've all mixed or just because the bronzer is very orangey pink. However, I have got to say the highlighter is stunning. I do really do like this highlighter. I would have preferred if they put it in like separate pans. So the next palettes I have 4 here, and that is because they all buy like the same brand. They are the Down to Earth, the Body Shop palettes. I love the Body Shop, and these palettes I really do like these. They are so like inexpensive. I also have their big palette. They sent me 5 of their palettes, and honestly I love these palettes so much. But what I love about these palettes is that you can pop out the colours. And I love that about them, because if you get all of them you can like mix and match all the palettes. So what I did with this palette is that I've actually got all of my favourites out of this palette and put them in the big one, and I would just take this palette with me. It's kind of like my own little personalised palette. I love that about them. Then I've got some other ones here which I still use all of these shades. I love these palettes. The next smaller palette I own is the W7 Brow Parlour palette. I do not like this one at all. It comes with 2 matte browns here for your eyebrows. Then it comes with a gel and then a white to like highlight under your brow bone. I do not like this palette at all. The colours are so orange. Don't get me wrong, I use their Lashtastic W7 mascara every single day. Like, I have it on today. I use it every single day. One of my favourite mascaras. I'm just not a fan of this Brow Parlour palette. The next palette I have is another one that I got at Beautycon, and it is my Eyes Undercover palette. It is the Nude Rose from Collection. This palette, I actually quite like the colours in this palette. Again, it is all shimmers. So this is the palette. It is quite a cool palette. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it comes with an array of different shimmers. It comes with all kind of different colour shimmers. You've got white shimmers, light pinks, and then you go like dark to plum. So it has got a load of different kind of shimmer shades in there. I then have 2 NYX palettes, and these ones again I got at Beautycon. Basically you could make your own palettes, so I made 2. So this is the first palette I made here. So these are all like magnetic, these shades here, and I love this one here. It's like a salmony shade. And then this one is the second one I made. I love these 2 shades up here. This raspberry one here, and then this really cool like orange. A lot of people don't like this shade, but I love it. I think it's called Lol. The next palette I have is from Too Faced, and it is the Natural Eyes palette. It comes with, again, so many colours. And if you just love, like, when I'm not doing burgundy eyes, I am doing just brown eyes. I love brown. I just love matte browns. And this is like the perfect eyes for this. Like, I love Nudie and Cashmere Bunny are stunning. I also really love Push Up and Honey Pot. So yeah, that is this palette up here. You also, it's really good to have just a matte white. I then have 2 palettes from Model's Own. The Gold Spotlight number 3 palette is, I think, probably one of my favourite products of Model's Own. This shade here, Gold Spotlight, is stunning. I also love this cream here. I also have their Pink Spotlight palette. Again, even their Pink Spotlight one is just such a beautiful palette. I love it. This shade here, Bloom, is gorgeous, and then I've got like some more blushy shades here, which I don't get a lot of use out, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but this one here is amazing. Okay, so my first ever palette that I ever owned is this palette here. It's from La Roche, and this is their 88 Neutral Eyes tones, and I remember this palette so much. It was my first ever palette I had ever owned in my life. I bought this on Amazon. It was around £4. I bought this because someone who I've actually met now, Nudarella, who I love a lot, yeah, she actually was raving about this palette in one of her first videos and I went and bought it. I used to love this palette. The lid has broken and I just can't like get rid of this palette because it was my first ever one. It comes in so many shades. Like for the price it is, it's pretty damn good, and these are quite pigmented. You guys can see here I was obsessed with this shade right there. I don't really use this palette anymore because I found better ones, but like for being the price it was, this is a pretty good palette. Like it does come with a lot of good and pretty shades. Two from Revolution. I have Ultra Professional eyeshadow palette. Looks like this. Comes with mostly shimmers, a few mattes. I also have their Golden Sugar palette, which is probably one of my favourites out of the Revolution set. Oh my gosh, this palette though is stunning, especially this one here, Crushed Velvet one. From Soap and Glory I have the Perfect 10 palette. I haven't actually used this one yet because we actually got sent this for a video, but that video never actually happened, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with this palette because I don't know if I'm meant to keep it or send it back or anything like that, so I don't actually want to use it. It comes with really nice shades. I really like the Mauve on Top shade. I also have the Maybelline the Blush Nudes palette. The only reason I have this one is because me and Grace, when we hit, I think it was around 50,000 subscribers. Oh no, it was like 1,000 subscribers. We were going to give this palette away. And then for some reason we didn't end up doing a giveaway because we didn't think this was enough. And then for some reason we didn't want to put it in our 100k giveaway because we had other brands and we didn't know if they wanted us to put this in it. And then we just forgot about it for our Christmas giveaway. So I still have this from when we hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm still holding on to it so that me and Grace could give this away to you guys in our next giveaway, hopefully, if we remember. Anyway, it's the Blush Nudes Maybelline palette. Moving on to high-end palettes. First one is the Naked palette from Urban Decay. I don't use this palette anymore. I think this is a fake palette. But yeah, I don't use this anymore. I used to love the shade Buck for my eyebrows. But yeah, I don't really use this palette as much anymore. It's not like my holy grail palette, if that makes any sense. The next palette I have is from Zoeva. It is their Pink Spectrum palette. I love this blush palette. It is so stunning. I love Zoeva. It comes with 4 blush shades. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I haven't used this one right here. It is way too pink for me, personally. But I'm obsessed with this one right here for winter and this one right here for summer. This one's shimmery, so I don't really go for that one too much. These two ones here are gorgeous. I do sometimes use this one as well, don't get me wrong, but this one and this one. Okay, next is, I think, the coolest palette ever. This is the Full Spectrum palette from Urban Decay. I actually got sent this palette, and so it has the UB Urban Decay. It just says Full Spectrum. Like, look at that packaging. It's like rainbow crystals, and then it says Urban Decay here. It's got like lines. Look at this palette. It is probably my only colourful palette, and that is why I love it so much. I did used to have a Morphe colourful palette, but I gave it away in a giveaway. So we have a brush here which says Full Spectrum on it. And then these are the colours. Oh my gosh, Warning is my favourite colour from this palette for sure. There are some really stunning shades in here. There's also some that I just wouldn't reach for, like this yellow here or the greens, because I'm just not that adventurous. But this palette is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this shimmer up here. Oh. Next I have my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour. This is my favourite contour palette. It has definitely beaten the Barry M palette. If you want a Superdrug one, I recommend the Barry M palette, the Chisel Cheeks contour kit. If you want a high-end one, I recommend the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I believe they've redone their packaging because I swear everyone can like fold their palette over. This is like rock hard plastic. I can't do that. But Kat Von D is probably my favourite makeup brand. I love the packaging of their products, like, girl. It comes with 3 light shades and then 3 like contour shades. I use these 2 up here, so I use the lighter shade and the lighter shade of the contour as well. It is such a nice palette. Okay, the next palette I have is my Kylie Kai Shadow palette. This one is the Burgundy palette, my favourite palette in the whole world. It's what I have on today. It is my favourite palette she's ever come out with, and it is gorgeous. Yeah, this is just my favourite palette. This is just me in a palette. I wear it basically every single day. I have a New Year's Eve tutorial and I use this palette and I create this look. And the last palette I have to show you guys today is actually a really stunning palette from Too Faced. I actually got this palette for my birthday and it is stunning. I love this palette. It is their chocolate shop palette. You can actually only get this if you go to a Sephora. So basically if you live in England, it's impossible to get this palette. That's why I love it, because I was like, exclusive. It also comes with a mini of their chocolate milkshake liquid lip. It also comes with an eye insurance and a small Better Than Sex mascara. This palette is gorgeous. Are you guys ready for it? I do like the packaging, but it's not very me. It's very Grace. It's got two little people here with a little dog at a chocolate shop. This is the palette. Oh my gosh, it smells of chocolate to start off with. All of the brown matte shades in here, like all of them, they are gorgeous matte browns. I really want to use Jingleberry in the makeup tutorial, but like this bright purple here. And Sugared Raisin, Cookie Dough, Ginger Doodle, they are stunning. Pound Cake is gorgeous. I use Inner Light for highlights. I've never used chocolate spell for bronzer, just because I haven't, but this is gorgeous for the eye. You also have a blusher here. This is just a gorgeous palette. I have 31 palettes and I'm still going to keep collecting. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up for me, and please subscribe to this channel for more. Please go check out all my social medias. Also, a lot of you guys have been asking about my Twitter name. I basically changed my Twitter name from GraceShadrack to... I basically did change my Twitter username from GraceShadrack, and now it is GraceShadrack. Grace with a capital G, Shadrack with a capital S. Here is my Twitter name, my new Twitter name. A lot of you guys have been really confused why I changed it. Basically, Shadrack is my full last name. Yeah, that is now my these are so big for my face. So yeah, my full last name is actually Shadrack, not Shad. So that's why my Twitter name has changed. My Instagram bio has changed, but my actual like Instagram username is the same. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you all so much, and yeah, I love you. Bye. I just got lipstick on my hand.